Thank you for joining us for today. It has been remarkable. I'm going to ask Peter to come out to the stage. Peter?
Wow, what a day, and how rich this day has been. Now it falls to me to, in a couple of minutes, try to make sense of the day. So first, thank you, Soledad. We've been really lucky to have your warmth, your guidance, your wisdom today. And thank you for being with us and guiding us through the program. Now, we're getting ready for our last treat here. I'm not the last piece, right? I'm just the warm-up act for the musician who will be coming. You won't want to miss him. But first, I'd like to give a couple of reflections on today. And I would like to ground those in three values that are very important to the Hilton Foundation: compassion, humility, and thinking big. We started the day, I think, on a note of recognizing compassion. And compassion itself calls on us to recognize the dignity and the agency in every person, to recognize every person's right to safety, to well-being, and to hope, and to recognize the potential even in the midst of difficulties. We said that to ourselves this morning about how difficult our lives are seeming these days, and that is very true. But we've seen and heard about people today who are in much more difficult situations, and our compassion calls on us to recognize the dignity and the agency in those people. It's messy. I loved what Clint had to say in his poem, All at Once. You can have noble thoughts and you can have really vexing thoughts in the same day. And we're all going through that. But I think what the Black Feminist panel said this morning about compassion, well, about calling us to center life and joy in our work, I think is a very important take-home from today. We heard a lot, although the word wasn't used all the time, we heard a lot about humility today. The most important piece there is don't make ourselves at the center of everything. Put ourselves instead at the service of others. Center instead in people who are hardworking, who are resilient, and who are bringing value. I think of Bizimungu and Zaituni in the video, all of what they had to say, all of what we are all behind. You heard in this sense as well a lot about local today. In the One Acre Fund video, you heard Andrew saying that One Acre seeks to be local and proximate. You heard this on the health panel, that most of the financing of health is done by households and national governments, not by outsiders. You heard this on this wonderful Indigenous panel we just had about the power of local and Indigenous. You heard it from the Black Feminist panel. And the phrase that stuck with me was that leadership will be of people who may not, indeed who will not, look like us. And here I would bring up the Hilton Foundation's strong commitment to locally led development. We have made a commitment to have a growing part of our global grant making, and indeed our grant making here in the States, to be to local organizations and organizations that have grown out of the communities that they serve. And we are putting our shoulder to getting other philanthropies to do this, and indeed other bilaterals. We invite you all in to that discussion. Now, the third value I wanted just to cite is thinking big. Compassion, humility, make you think one-on-one, make you think eye to eye. But we also saw some tremendous examples today of solving an entire problem for all of the people who have it on the globe. One Acre Fund saw hunger as a problem to solve, yes, but as Andrew said, he also saw one heck of an opportunity. They started with 40 families, they came to 4 million, and indeed, I think they are well on the way, with many others, to the solution of the problems of 50 million smallholder farmers. Raj told us, it's realistic to be optimistic, and he reminded us that each of us is invested in big bets that we need to follow through on. And we heard a lot about the ham end and the ham policy. And I think my take on that is that the ham suffered because the pan was too small. So remember to keep your solutions bigger than the problems and build bigger pans. And I think we heard that very much today. So it's our hope that you're coming out of today's event with more energy than you had going into it, more energy to tackle challenging problems, and to envision solutions for the most daunting challenges our world faces today. Perhaps as well with more empathy and understanding. 4 years ago at this event, I noted that we were in a very fragile moment in ensuring a peaceful and fulfilling existence for humanity. Today, clearly, we are also at a moment that requires each one of us to act individually and collectively, no matter what our spheres of influence. Every one of our speakers today has shown us that solutions exist, hope remains, and that we can improve the human condition with compassionate collective action. I think that the One Acre Fund has shown us today, above all else, the power of working both locally and at scale, innovating with those most closest to the challenges we face to develop solutions to them, and taking these solutions to scale that starts to address the enormity of the task at hand. So clarity, methodical execution, and big dreams. And we today commit to pushing with One Acre Fund for greater investment in the ag sector, and we invite you all to join along. We all share one humanity, and it is our duty, as well as, I think, one heck of an opportunity to move forward together. So with that, I want to thank all the speakers for coming from near and far to be with us today and for having such important discussions. Thank you, our audience, to be here today, and come again the next time we do this.